An interest in self-preservation should never be mistaken for cowardice. In the face of true evil, knowing when to fight and when to flee can be the difference between you and a corpse. Stay alert, stay alive. You didn't hear this from me. You know, Bayer Pharmaceutical should be synonymous with HIV/AIDS. But the scary part is, it didn't take 50 years for people to forget what went down. Hell, it barely took a month for what occurred to get swept under the rug. See, a division of Bayer Pharmaceutical, Qatar, knowingly sold millions of dollars worth of blood clotting medication that hemophiliacs needed. However, the medication was contaminated with the AIDS virus in the mid-1980s. While evidence grew in the Western world that plasma products were being linked to the contraction of the AIDS virus, Qatar Pharmaceutical began to create a new product, one that wasn't tainted with AIDS, that was safer for the United States and the Western world to use. This, however, left Qatar with a large surplus of the former product, which the company knew was contaminated with AIDS. However, the contaminated product had been costly to produce, and if discarded, would cause a large monetary loss for the company. So, instead of doing the ethical or humane thing and tossing the vials that would potentially kill or doom thousands, they began to pawn the excess product on the Asian and Latin American countries that had less knowledge of the product and the effects using a non-heated concentrate. You see, for the United States and Europe, the new product was already in production immediately. However, there were some troubles with the amount of supplies available. During the production of the new product, it seemed that there was a shortage of plasma within Qatar, which was due to the fact that the company was still producing the old concentrate. The heat-treated concentrate was safe to use because the heat killed the virus within the product. The old product was cheaper and easier to produce, and still profitable for the company, while it marketed it as safe product overseas. Doctors were still prescribing patients a product that they were told to be safe. A safe medication for those with hemophilia, as Qatar had assured them that the product was both safe and effective. While Qatar claims the non-heated product was perceived as safer by some, the company still knowingly sold the product to other countries that contained contamination and transmitted AIDS to hundreds of people, with more than 100 in Hong Kong and Taiwan alone, with patients as young as 2. One doctor had 40% of his patients test positive for HIV. Another physician had 44 HIV-positive patients, with a current toll of 23 who have died. Once word spread that Qatar was using Asia and Latin America as a dumping ground for a death sentence of a drug, panic ensued for the parents of the children infected as well as the people infected themselves. Most patients were confused as to why they were sent a faulty drug, and other countries were given safe medications. While Qatar made several excuses for the distribution of the drug, it was clear that they just wanted to get rid of the excessive product that they had already produced. While Bayer, the parent company of Qatar, has never admitted guilt to infecting hundreds, over 600 million has been paid in settlements to those who contracted the disease. But if you ask me, scooping up a bucket of ocean water and throwing it into the sand does not harm the ocean. But hey, you didn't hear this from me.